Can you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. This is directed by James Bobin, stars Isabella Moner, Eugenio Derbez, Michael Pena. That's just the main three stars, but there is more people in this. Pretty good cast. It runs an hour and 42 minutes. It is rated PG. And having spent most of her life exploring the jungle with her parents, nothing could prepare Dora for her most dangerous adventure ever: high school. Always the explorer, Dora quickly finds herself leading Boots, Diego, a mysterious jungle inhabitant, and a ragtag group of teens on a live action adventure to save her parents and solve the impossible mystery behind the lost city of gold. This is Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Well, I'll start things off by saying that I've been way too excited to watch this movie. The previews have looked good. The scenes that they've put out there have just looked funny. And I could kind of, envision how the rest of the scene would happen. And then I watched the movie and it's a little different. So that's a nice surprise. The actors that it has in this, I've really enjoyed what they've done lately. This Eugenio, I just watched Overboard last year, and I was taken away by that movie, and how his participation with that, is really raw and authentic and funny and everything. So I figured this would be another good performance by him, and it was. It was a little different, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I just enjoyed, something that they brought from a cartoon to real life people. I really actually enjoyed this. I think that the whole family can enjoy this movie. But there was a couple of things I would say to worry about. They had the couple fart jokes that they have, like they don't handle it in a way that's disgusting. Like they don't lather it on. There's one scene about going number two, and that carries on for a little bit, and it does come back again in the end. But it's not like it's abundant. It's not presented in a disgusting way. But they are in there. There are talks. There are words that are maybe cautionary if you have young children and you haven't wanted to get into this disgusting stuff quite yet. But like I said, they handle it pretty delicately, and everybody's kind of laughing when it happens. So it's one of the more light parts of the movie. There are some serious things in this movie because it gets to be an adventure movie, and there are some serious things, but mostly it's to present a lesson or something. It's not really that scary. Yeah. So I'd say overall I really enjoyed this movie. I liked the music. I liked most of the ways that they handled it, and most of the ways that they, had to bring up song. I liked the actors. I really appreciated how they kind of bought into this, and was very presented. I think this was funnier than like Jumanji that came out recently. I think it's more of an adventure and more of a well done movie than like Journey to the Center of the Earth. I maybe not as big as stars in it, maybe not as compelling, but just more lighthearted and for everybody. But really, when I was watching this movie, it kind of brought me back to my childhood because I don't know how popular Dora is nowadays, but she really was, about 15, 20 years ago. And so I'm glad, that they made this movie. I'm just hoping it attracts to the younger generation right now. but really it brought me back to the movies that they were making when I was younger, like Richie Rich. You have your well-known character, you have a little bit of storytelling to set up things, you have somebody come along that begins the villain part of the movie. You get your problem presented and you go on your adventure, and then you have your ending, which is usually a happy ending. But there were so many movies when I was younger on VHS and everything that just were fabulous with this storyline, with this kind of setup. And you could have your lesson, and you could have your laughter, and you can have your adventure. And I completely enjoyed myself with Dora doing this model, and I just think it was a really well done adventure. I think there were a couple things as an adult that I would say are kind of stupid. Just the way they handled like an obvious scene from the previews where this guy that helps out these kids for a little while says a thing, runs into a spider web, runs into a tree. We've all seen that preview. I'm not giving anything away. It's still one of the funniest scenes of the movie, but they do that a couple times throughout the movie where they say something and the opposite thing happens, or the obvious thing happens. That's just to be expected. And sometimes it can still take us adults by surprise depending on how crazy the next thing is. I think one time when Dora says something and something obvious happens, that was like a surprise to me what the obvious thing was. So, honestly, I just kind of felt like this is a movie anybody can watch. It's very funny. It's very kind of up and down with the humor. Maybe I laughed at something, and the people next to me with children and a family, maybe they didn't laugh at it. But it's gonna be for everyone because it's a nice, delightful movie. It's not gonna be for everyone laughing at every single joke. Maybe you'll be rolling your eyes at a couple things. That's fine. But these are the kind of movies that need to be made forever. It's ones that have the model I described, ones that have jokes for everybody, ones that have characters that truly care about the product they're doing. There is one scene towards the end that might suggest some kind of drug, but I don't know if you really need to take it that way because it's one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie. But I think the way that Dora handles this with the whole societal pressure of being normal, and she gets asked one time, don't you know people are making fun of you? And she says, yeah, but what are you gonna do? I think that's a very normal answer. I think that's a great attitude. I think it's a good way to handle this movie with people going to watch it and they're wondering how Dora's going to handle this situation. And I think that's a great answer. Just what are you going to do about it? Just try and be nice to people. Try and be, talk to people that you have things in common with. And if you happen to go on adventures with people like Dora does, then be the best version of you, and she really is. And I think another weak point of this movie is the parents because they don't really know how to interact with Dora. Like she's supposed to be this cartoon kind of character, and then she's supposed to be this real great adventurer, and just the parents seem really tame compared to her. But the rest of the movie just kind of falls into place and everything. And I've been back and forth over the last 12 hours since I saw this movie. I think it's a B plus or an A minus, and I think that everybody can just agree on that because you don't need to think that it's too stupid. You don't need to think about that. You need to think about the bright spots of this. Is it educational? Is it an adventure? Is it funny? Does it offer a twist like a regular movie should? And it does all those things. So I'm going to give Dora and Velocity of Gold an A minus because I would not mind owning it. I really want it. It has some really good actors in here that need more credit, than what they're probably given. I wouldn't mind watching it again because I was smiling most of the time, and I just think that this is the kind of model of a movie that we need to be watching, without language, without too many dirty jokes or without any really at all, and with a character that we can relate with and recognize, and people around that character that support them, are good friends, and have good morals and lessons throughout the movie. And you know what? If it has a little bit of Spanish along the way, that's fine too. So I'm going to give an A minus to Dora and Lost City Gold. I totally suggest watching this. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them watched. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Thanks.